you decide to sell your home yourself, there are a few things most homeowners don't realize, and honestly, some of them can cost you tens of thousands of dollars if you don't catch them early. I am not here to scare you out of selling your home yourself. I am actually a huge advocate for sale by owners. I've done it myself, but I am here to make sure that if you do it, you do it right, and you don't learn the hard way. If we haven't met yet, hi, I'm Haley Anderson. I am a licensed real estate agent and real estate photographer, and I have spent years behind the scenes really learning what actually makes homes sell and what quietly costs sellers money. This channel is all about helping you sell your home yourself the smart way. So today I'm going to give you the real honest truth about selling your house without a realtor. The good, the bad, and the things that nobody tells you until it's too late. Let's start here. Yes, you can absolutely sell your home without a realtor. It is legal, it is doable, and in some cases it's going to save you a lot of money. But here's the part most people miss. Selling your house is not just about getting a buyer. It's about understanding the entire deal, because your bottom line is not just the sales price alone. This is one of the biggest mistakes I see for sale by owners make. They focus on the offer price and completely miss what they're actually walking away with. If you take nothing else from this video, take this. You need to physically write out a seller's net sheet for every single offer you receive. Not in your head, not roughly, actually write it out. I have a free one for you below actually that you can use. Use it, because the best offer is not always about the highest price. Here's why. Closing costs. Buyers will often ask you to cover part of the closing costs. That comes directly out of your pocket. Number two, agent fees. Even if you're selling yourself, the buyer may have an agent that you're going to be asked to pay their part of the commission. Now, I'll be honest with you, this part can bug the heck out of me too. But I don't recommend pushing back on that number in your counter offers. I can go into that more in depth in another video, but I have seen deal after deal fall through because of pushing back on that number. That is not the number you want to push. Number three is going to be seller concessions. This one catches people off guard because they don't understand what it is. This is money you agree as the seller to give the buyer on top of everything else. It's usually also written as a percentage. For example, I just had a buyer this week ask for 1.5% in seller concessions. That was almost $10,000 for that seller. It really adds up quickly, so know that number, not just the percentage. Write it in an actual number format so you visually can see how much money is going out of your pocket. Let's talk about commissions for a second. That percentage might look small on paper, but when you actually calculate it, it feels very different. I can't tell you how many times I've seen sellers get all the way to the closing table, get handed their final report, and realize they've agreed to pay $40,000 plus in commissions. As you can expect, they're shocked by this number. Not because it wasn't disclosed, but because it was always talked about as a percentage. Percentages feel small, dollar amounts feel real. Always do the math, always. Use the seller's net sheet so you can see those real numbers. Paperwork is not always what you think. This one surprises almost everyone. People think that the hardest part of selling the home themselves is the paperwork. It's not. Agents will tell you that that's what they're doing for you, all of the shebang, but in fact, homeowners are required to do way less paperwork than agents are. And here's the part nobody tells you. When you work with a good title company, they walk you through almost everything. I've seen it firsthand, I've done it, I've walked every step. When my husband and I sold our first home as for sale by owner, we literally walked into the title office with our buyer. We told them the price and they guided us step by step through the entire thing. Now, will it always be that simple? No, it won't. Most of the time, your buyer will come with an agent. That agent will write up a formal offer. You'll need to review it, understand it, and decide how to respond to that offer. Once you accept an offer, that's when the title company really steps in and helps move everything forward. So no, paperwork is not the monster people make it out to be. Understanding the deal can be the monstrous thing. So you do need to understand that. That's what I'm here to help you do. And you will hear me say it 1,000 times. Pricing is everything. If you want your home to sell, this is when you need to pay attention. You need to price your home in your ideal buyer's search bracket. And here's what I mean by that. When buyers search on sites like Zillow, they don't search random numbers. They search in ranges. For example, 300,000 to 350,000 or 350,000 to 400,000. Those brackets matter more than you think if you price your home at 405,000. You just missed every buyer searching up to 400,000. That's a huge chunk of your audience. Really understand that. Pay attention to Redfin, Zillow, those brackets that they're putting them in, and list your price within one of those brackets so that you are getting the entire pool of buyers within those brackets. But actually along those lines, I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to give you a pricing tip that if you are, actually you don't even have to plan, but plan ahead that if you ever did have to reduce your price, that when you drop your price, that it's going to be in a completely new pricing bracket. Why? You just open the door that gives you a fresh wave of buyers. If you price wrong from the start, you lose that advantage. So it's important to think that way from the very beginning. And in real estate, momentum matters. The first 1 to 2 weeks on the market are really everything for your sale, even if it's going to take 45 to 60 days. It really does matter where you start at the beginning. Okay, that was a tangent. Let me get back to the main idea here. When you sell your home yourself, you are stepping into a few different roles. You do not have to be perfect at all of them, but you do need to understand where they are or what they are. You're going to step into pricing strategist, marketing manager, negotiator, transaction coordinator. Again, you don't have to be perfect at all of them. You do need to be aware of them. Because most for sale by owner deals don't fall apart because the seller couldn't fill out paperwork. They fall apart because the home was priced wrong. The negotiation went sideways. Or the seller didn't understand the terms and so they couldn't communicate to their buyer. So here is the absolute truth about selling your house without a realtor. You can absolutely do it. You can save money. You can even have a really smooth experience, but only if you understand what actually matters. Don't focus on the myths, don't focus on the fear, not the noise. What actually matters is pricing correctly, understanding your numbers, knowing how to evaluate offers, and making smart decisions throughout the entire process. If you're thinking about selling your home yourself, I want to help you do it the right way. Start by grabbing the free seller net sheet linked below. Use it for every offer you get. It will change how you look at deals. And if you want help walking through your specific situation, you can book a free clarity call with me. We look at your home, your goals, your map of the smartest way to move forward. And if this was helpful, subscribe because I'm breaking down every step of selling your home yourself. You've got this. Let's just make sure you're doing it right from the start.